Senator Veronica.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to second this, the moving of this report. And let me, at the very onset, congratulate the Kenyan delegation that represented Kenya ably at the 9th IPU Global Conference on Young Parliamentarians, which included none other but yours truly, Senator John Muthia Methu. Happy to note today the hair looks very smart. Senator Christo Asige, our very own able senator who represents persons living with disability at the Senate. Honorable Jean Jerry Maina, MP and Women Rep for Kirinyaga County, and the two delegates who are drawn from the Secretariat, both at Senate and the National Assembly. I have noted, Honorable Speaker, that from this conference, our Kenyan delegation was very active, as it should be, and they were greatly involved in the deliberations that enriched the resolutions that were arrived at, which is what a delegation should always do, especially when they represent our nation anywhere. It's important that a report is returned, that the participation is active, not absent, and that our delegates are able to contribute and enrich the deliberations and the resolutions that emanate from any conference, because ideally that's why the taxpayer uses the money to sponsor our delegation. I have noted with a lot of interest the venue where this conference was taken. That was in Hanoi, Vietnam, a very interesting destination which has been in the discussion of Kenyans lately because of our very own Kenyan, Margaret Nduta, a lady from Murang'a County, whose fate is hanging on the thread because of having been convicted for a capital punishment due to offenses or accusations related to drug peddling or trafficking or whatever it was that has been faced, that Duta has been faced with. I note, Honorable Speaker, that Vietnam has very strict drug laws, and even before I finish commenting on this, because this was about a global conference on young parliamentarians, and Duta is a young woman, I have seen for the last maybe a week or so, a very hearted petition by Kenyans to the government to quickly do what it can to have a bilateral to discuss with the government of Vietnam how the fate of Duta from hanging by the rope or being punished through that injection could be reversed and Duta be allowed to face the Kenyan judicial system. And a caution we would throw to the young people, Honorable Speaker, is that many countries and jurisdictions are very strict on drug offenses and drug charges, and it is very important for young people, when they are approached to do certain things, to be very cautious who gives them what they are carrying or what they are transporting or what suitcases they are handling when they are traveling, so that they don't find themselves in the situation that Nduta found herself in. And we want to thank the PS, Foreign Affairs, for taking steps to reach out to the government of Vietnam to discuss, and the fact that the punishment was delayed as the governments are discussing was important. Because we know an offense could be an offense, we do not know how the process went, but we do know that the Kenyan judicial system is also eager to enforce the criminal law jurisdiction, and I'm sure if Duta was returned here, she would still face the Kenyan judicial system, which may be lighter for the family. So we continue to hope that the governments will discuss and see that the fate of Duta is reviewed and that she can face the music back home. Notably, Kenya has no bilateral agreement with Vietnam, and maybe it's time that because the Kenyan embassy that is accredited to Vietnam, nearest to Vietnam is in Thailand, so that I don't even know how our team worked during this time, the delegation that was sent, they must have had a lot of difficulties because they did not have, Kenya does not have a mission down at Vietnam. And we would also urge the PS, Foreign Affairs, to ensure that now that Kenya and Vietnam have relations that could enable us to foster or put a foreign mission there, to consider that there are many Kenyans who are working within Vietnam, and that they will be it will be a big honor and great service to those Kenyans if there was a foreign mission or a diplomatic mission that can serve them closer in Vietnam, because both countries have issues that are of common interest that could be handled by that foreign mission. And having said that, I'm wishing consolation to Nduta's family back in Murang'a. Honorable Speaker, the theme of this conference, coming back to the report, was the role of the youth in accelerating the achievement of the SDGs through digital transformation and innovation. And Speaker, if I can jump to one of the items that were noted by the Secretary General during this conference, was that the Secretary General Chungong took the opportunity to address the underrepresentation of young women in parliaments, emphasizing that their contributions were indispensable in advancing the SDGs through digital transformation and innovation. He underscored the crucial role of young women and called for increased effort to ensure their meaningful participation in parliamentary processes. The reason why the young women were singled out, Honorable Speaker, must have been because it is very easy for women to be left behind in digital transformation. And Honorable Speaker, it's my view that as our systems get more digitized, become more technologically efficient, it's important that women are carried along. In fact, Honorable Speaker, if you look at what is happening now, commerce has gone digital, trading has gone digital, Honorable Speaker, and everything, even the service delivery by governments has gone digital. And unless we carry the women along in this digital transformation, women will take the shorter end of the stick in this transformation. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, this conference addressed issues of how the young women can be carried along, even those who are in parliaments, to ensure that their role as women parliamentarians becomes meaningful, even as people participate in parliamentary processes. Honorable Speaker, right now, you might find that the people who are able to follow the proceedings, even in these parliaments, are those who are digitally aware or digitally informed. And it's important, Honorable Speaker, that as we continue, that parliaments become a center where even those who are serving within parliaments, their skills are consistently improved in this digital technology and transformation. Honorable Speaker, the resolutions that have been arrived at during this conference, Honorable Speaker, should actually be turned into action, so that, Honorable Speaker, we do not have conferences being attended to, resolutions being drawn, and no action being taken. We need to be in a phase where we say, from resolutions now to action, from action to impact, so that whatever resources are being used in these conferences, the global conferences, can become a reality to the citizens of Kenya. So let me once again congratulate the team that represented Kenya in this IPU Global Conference, and hope that this will impact the other young parliamentarians within our jurisdiction. And with those many remarks, I now second this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate notes report of the 9th Interparliamentary Union Global Conference of Young Parliamentarians held in Hanoi, Vietnam from 15th to 17th September 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday,